Good morning. My name's Chris Griffin, and I'm a small business owner in Orlando, Florida. My company, Crew XP, we design and build exhibits for trade shows, conventions, and corporate events. I have an additional fabrication facility in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we have, had labor employees in another 10 U.S. cities. That's before COVID-19 hit us. Listen, these past months, I've been an active letter writer, telephone caller, and emailer to all of my elected representatives in Congress to tell the story of what's happening in our industry. I'm also an executive board member of several industry trade associations, so I feel it's been my responsibility to advocate for this industry, for the employees in it, and for their families. 7 months after the mandatory COVID quarantine began in the United States, the trade show and convention industry continues to be closed in our most important and active event cities. Cities like Chicago and New York, San Diego, LA, Anaheim, San Francisco, just to name a few. The trade show and live event industry has over 10 million workers. They're incredible people, the most creative, hardworking you've ever met. We have millions of small businesses in our business sector in the live event industry. All have been affected by the COVID-19 lockdown of the U.S. economy. We have more employees that work in the live event game than the auto industry. Well, look, I've had no luck communicating effectively with my congressional leaders or staff in written form. You all must be very busy this year. I understand that. I'm sure you are at this difficult time. So I'm taking the advice of my 2 teenage daughters, the TikTokers, and I'm switching my messaging platform from the written word to video in hopes that this might make it a difference or get to you sooner. Look, I read today that last night Speaker Pelosi and Secretary Mnuchin met and agreed to fund the federal government via a short-term continuing resolution that would keep the government open till December 11th. I say sincerely, congratulations, Madam Speaker and Mr. Secretary. You have successfully just passed your own 10-week paycheck protection program, if you will, 2.5 times the government's average monthly expenses to keep the government open. You've protected your paychecks and the paychecks of your coworkers. You've ensured that your rent and utilities will get paid. Yet you've again ignored the 10+ million unemployed live event industry workers that have the same immediate need to pay their bills, and the tens of thousands of small businesses that will surely close their doors permanently because of the continued inability of Congress to compromise and do the right thing. Madam Speaker, Mr. Secretary, I don't know how long this message is going to take to reach you. Chances are it might take a while. And that my 30-year-old family-owned business will be out of business for good by then. You see, we run out of our round 1 PPP money this month. There's just no cash moving through our industry right now, and it's not projected to be any better until late second quarter next year. So I'll ask one more question maybe before we go down swinging this quarter here at my company. What millions of small business owners don't understand is this. There are 535 elected officials in Congress, right? 435 in the House of Representatives, another 100 in the U.S. Senate. You're the group that's capable of immediately approving an economic relief package for millions of American citizens, small business owners, and employees, and so many industries that are in a similar situation as me. And my understanding is that 95% of you in Congress agree on extending the Paycheck Protection Program for late recovering and severely affected small businesses that truly need it. There's a continuing Small Business Recovery and Paycheck Protection Program Act that's been proposed in the Senate by Senator Rubio, I believe, right? I've read it. It seems like that's exactly what we need. Madam Speaker, Mr. Secretary, I'm supposed to be using these last few seconds to ask a final question, so here it is. You two were able to get in a room last night and agree on helping yourselves and your congressional coworkers to a PPP-style assistance program that's going to keep the government going until December 11th, right? Well, why won't you do that for us? Look, I know it would be great to get an economic stimulus deal that meets everybody's needs and wants. I want that too. But why not pass the things that you can agree on now? Because if you wait till after the election, a lot of us aren't going to be here on the other side of it. So, thank you for listening. I will say the hopes and prayers of American small business owners and our employees remain with all of you at this extraordinarily difficult time. Thank you.